Does the accessory port in the back of your Jeep Wrangler not work? Maybe you plugged in something a little too heavy for it and it's no longer working. Chances are it's this guy. In about 10 minutes, we're gonna show you how to get one of these and how easy it is to replace it. I'm not going to tell you yet how this happened, but let's just say I think I killed my power inverter. Let's take a look at the testing that I've been doing. I got my voltage meter here, so I'm going to shove this one in on one, and then we'll go into one of the grounds here. And as you can see, that's reading a big fat 0. The power inverter AC is fused, called F110, and it says power inverter. It's the 30 amp at the very bottom here, so it's that pink one. All right, so for this, we're gonna do a resistance test. You can see there we are getting a signal across there. We've eliminated the fuse. I'm thinking that it might be the inverter itself. Okay, so today's the day we're gonna install the new power inverter module here. This looks like a close match to the part. I did find this on eBay. A guy was selling a whole lot of them, one at a time, but instead of the Mopar price, this was only about 70 bucks. Hopefully it works. We will swap it out and see how it goes. So we pulled out the plastic cover right underneath the steering wheel. This is just clipped in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clips. And you can see where we're headed here. Here's the power inverter module right here. This is what flips your DC power off your battery into an AC power. Here's our replacement part right here. You can see that's a very good match. There is just one input-output on this. Everything comes in and out right on this side. And as you can see, we got a few brackets we're gonna need to remove to get to it. According to the new one here, you can see the screws to hold it in are on the sides. I think if we get this bracket out and this bracket out, we should just be able to slip this thing right out and replace it. Recommended procedure is to unplug the negative terminal of the battery, and then we will swap this out and see if we get power back to our accessory AC adapter. To remove those brackets back there, we're using a 10 millimeter socket and use an extension to get kind of past this first bracket here. These are pretty loose in there. Yeah. All right, so as we feared, this bracket here is kind of preventing us from getting into the bolt back here with our socket wrench. So what we're going to use is a 10 millimeter wrench, and we're just going to hit back in here and get that going. And they're loosely in there. You don't need a ton of force to get those out. There we go. Let's see if we can get it out of here. It's definitely snug in there. Up and down. There we go. Okay, so come out, bring it down on the left side and come out that way, because you see this bracket here, it looks like I had a little bit of tape on it. This bracket here was getting wedged up in there, but now we've got it released here. We can now work on releasing the power clip here. All right, and that's it. It's out. Okay, we got it out here. Looks like we've got a good match here. Again, same part numbers. So let's hope this is the real deal, and we'll replace. So we just have a few screws. Looks like some Phillips on each side. All right, so we replaced the old inverter module with the new one here on the brackets, and we're going to go ahead and get that plugged in to our connector here, and we're in. All right, and then it goes in, remember, like this, and up in here like that. Now before we bolt it back in, we're gonna go ahead and do a quick test to see if it's working. All right, so we're back in the back here, moment of truth. Let's plug this in and see if we get power. And there it is, look at that. We are back in business. We have working AC back here now for $70 and not a ton of effort. Switched out that inverter module. If that had not worked, we were going to be replacing this plug. If it wasn't that, it was wiring, and we would have been in real trouble. But looks like we got it. Back to having power back here, which is a nice thing. All right, so just as fun as they were to get out, we're gonna be reinserting our 3 bolts back here. Let's start by getting them all loosely installed. We gotta get this left side bolt pretty far in there, because in order to get anything to it, you got this bracket in the way. So all right, restore the panel here. All right, so that's it. That was way easier than I had expected. Honestly, $60 to $70 on eBay. I just checked, they're about $62, and really only about maybe 15-20 minutes. You need a 10mm socket, a 10mm crescent wrench if you want to get back up in there like I did. Just a handful of bolts that needed to come out. One connector right here, clipped out, clipped in. Disconnect the battery for safety, reconnect it, give yourself a test on that outlet. We are back to working back there. If you have ever seen this challenge before, put a comment down below and tell us how you fixed yours. If you have any other tips or ideas, we'd love to hear about them. If this is the kind of content you want to see, click on the subscription button down below. Give us a like for the content here. We'll see you next time on Greenfield Overlanding.